it happened really fast in a blink of an eye.
It's not your basic call that you're used to going to on a daily basis.
I've cut down thousands of trees over the years and never had any close calls like this.
When I got there, I didn't know if it was too late or...
Well, there was probably 1,000 or more pounds of weight just pressed down on the leg. It was just a searing pain.
Pincer on the leg! Ah!
I just knew we had to get him out of there.
I've been with the college full-time since January of 2015, and I've always been in the business of helping connect students to that right career and helping instructors get the resources they need, but I've never necessarily been on the receiving end of it. My wife and my 2 boys and I, we live on a farm just north of Mondovi, south of Eau Claire. We bought a hobby farm down here so that we can go ahead and make sure that our boys have that ability to raise animals and experience life outdoors. So we've got 52 acres of pollinator habitat, and we also have honeybees, and we got grass-fed beef, pasture-raised pigs, and free-range chickens. And our goal is really to produce good quality food, have a good quality outdoors life for our family, and be a contributing member of our community. I grew up cutting wood. So we decided to put an outdoor wood boiler in to burn wood, and it's just wood that's just laying on the ground or dead trees or trees that are just, they're dangerous trees. On the day of the accident, I had been working my way from the south end of the property all the way up, looked over at this one here, and it had been broken off in the wind last year, about 6 feet up in the air. And my boys love to climb trees, and this one, it was that perfect gentle angle going up. And I said, geez, it's not strong enough to make me feel comfortable just letting it be there, letting my boys play in it. So I said, I'm just gonna cut that tree down. I didn't know it, but the inside of the tree was completely rotten. I was just done with my wedge cut, and all of a sudden the pressure from the tree pinched my saw blade. Turned off my saw, and in the process of pulling that saw, the hinge on the tree snapped. So as soon as I saw it slipping away, I felt it hit my left-hand shoulder, just pushed me to the ground. The weight of the tree was just right on top of my legs, and the broken off part of the tree, it was across my left shoulder, so I was basically pinned down to the ground. I instantly just reached for my phone in my pocket, and I dialed 911, and I put the phone right up on top of the tree in front of me. The first thing that came to my mind when I was on the phone with the 911 operator was, are they going to find me? So kind of knowing that they were going to be able to get here, but it was just a matter of, how was I going to hold up in the meantime?
I was actually only a few miles away from where it actually happened. At the time when the call came out, I immediately knew what was going to happen. I responded to the area, my lights and sirens.
Probably 5 to 10 minutes after my initial call, I started to hear the sirens in the distance. When he got here, he parked just on the gravel road here, and he sprinted up.
I immediately saw his chainsaw when I was running up the hill towards where he was. Silly me asked him if his chainsaw worked.
And I said, yep, but I said, make sure that chain brake is off. So before I even got those words out of my mouth.
But I grabbed it, didn't even hear him respond to it. His instincts kicked in, and I started it up right away.
Wood chips are flying everywhere, the scream of the engine of the chainsaw and the smell of the exhaust. And that's really all my mind was just listening to, is just kind of a numbing sound of that.
The only thing that was really going through my head is I got to do what I can to try and help this guy, at least until some more help gets here.
Stay with me.
I got out of the car and started up the hill, and he seen me and hollered.
I need some help up here. Oh, hold on.
And when I was sawing through, another voluntary fireman showed up.
The deputy sheriff, he ran the saw mostly. I did grab it, make a couple cuts to take care of some spots we needed to, and then we both just used force and lifted. And I don't know if I could lift that log today, but a little bit of adrenaline.
And the two of them together, they worked on getting the tree completely cut through, and then they ended up team lifting that log up just enough so I could slide right underneath.
537, Connie, we got him out.
As soon as I rolled out, I just laid on the ground and kind of caught my breath, and just extreme gratitude and thankfulness was all that was going through my brain.
You're all right.
I was blown away. He was moving, he sat up. I kind of did a little assessment on him and didn't seem to have any broken bones, and he was breathing okay and
right?
Moving his head.
Can you still feel your legs and all
And
that?
the two first responders in the Eau Claire Fire Department ambulance, they showed up. And they checked me out and assessed me over and said, all right,
Take your time though, no rush.
doesn't look like you're bleeding. Let's get you standing up. So I stood up and we walked down to the ambulance, and then they did a full assessment on me down there. And that's when I asked them the question. I said, by any chance, are any of you folks trained at CVTC? And all three of them said, yeah.
Well, I graduated the diesel and heavy equipment program in '96. I joined Township in 2021 and graduated Fire 1.
I graduated from the CVTC in 2014. I can honestly say it was the one time that I enjoyed school.
I've intertwined with CVTC quite a bit. For the last 15 years, I've also been on the Diesel Tech Advisory Committee. My wife graduated the nursing program in '98 here. My oldest daughter graduated animal science here a couple years ago. My youngest daughter is currently at CVTC for a physical therapy assistant. And my youngest son, well, he's still got some choices, but good chance he'll be here too.
Now they did caution me to say, go up and get checked out in the ER, make sure there's nothing hurt on the inside.
It was actually one of our busiest days in the emergency room. And as we were looking through the list and triaging our patients, I saw Adam's name pop up.
So we were only there a couple of minutes, and that's when the ER door opened up.
I went out to the waiting room right away, found Adam, told him like, okay, this is kind of serious, and grabbed a wheelchair right away, let our team know that this would be a trauma activation in the emergency room, and got Adam back.
As she's walking away, I told my wife, I said, that's Sandra Morrow. She works at the college, and she's great.
I was alumni at CVTC, so I started here in 2007 as a student, and I graduated in 2008 as a fire medic student. So now I am an EMS instructor, so I teach both in the fire medic and paramedic program. We do a pain assessment. I also work as an emergency room nurse. We just got to work right there, making sure that he could be seen right away by our physician, and that we could start the process with assessing him for potential injuries.
She helped me get set up in the room and get some IVs and all that, draw some blood, and then they did an order for a CT scan.
So it was pretty funny when I brought Adam over to the CT scanner and Amanda comes around the corner and
She said, hey Adam, what are you doing here?
I was pretty shocked actually. In 2012 I graduated from the radiology program, and then 10 years later I graduated from the residential construction program, so in 2022. I've been using the radiology degree mostly in the winter time, and then last summer I built a duplex. On Adam, I believe we did a chest, abdomen, pelvis, so scanning from almost head to toe essentially. I amazingly saw much of nothing. The scans look great. Pretty fortunate after an accident like that.
I managed the emergency services programs for a little bit, but I'd never been on the receiving end of care. So it was a complete paradigm shift for me to realize the full impact of what we do. So just the entire journey from start to finish was filled with CVTC graduates.
The paramedics who responded on scene on the ambulance to assess Adam and care for him, Clint was a student of mine. Kevin's also alumni through CVTC. That's what means everything to me. I think that's what keeps me here working at CVTC, is just knowing that the impact that we have is not just, about getting a job at the end, but being a part of a community. And I think being able to work in the community but also educate the community is really what builds us up and keeps us together and really brings in the reason why we do this.
It was really incredible just to see these people in action, working on instinct, just like they're trained to do. Never did I imagine that those people that were there being trained, continuing education, initial training would save my life someday. It's pretty amazing.
Thanks for the help. I don't know if I would have gotten it off him without you.
I don't really feel like I saved his life. I was just doing my job.
I didn't do this to be a hero. I just want to help. Just doing our job and helping our community.
People get into health care to care for patients and care for people, and when you have days like that, it really reminds you of why you got into healthcare in the first place.
It feels really special to be a part of something like that and see it and see a positive outcome, and really it just motivates me here at CVTC to continue to be a good instructor and to teach my students about critical thinking and about the impact they're going to have in their community, because when you see someone it just brings it really to your heart on this is the difference that I'm making.
This is something that you can get into and you could really make a positive difference. In somebody's life, in our community, it's really important.
That aspect is really neat. I am actually helping the people in my community.
It just brings a lot of joy to you. Makes you feel like you actually have done something at the end of the day. You can at least know hey, that gentleman's going home to his family because of what you did.
Having that connection through CVTC, getting the education here, and then being able to apply it back through CVTC almost, I mean, it makes it just extra rewarding. And for it to be a good outcome is even better.
Adam is one of those miracles that we can't explain in healthcare. There's no reason why he shouldn't have had internal injuries. There's no reason why he should have walked away from an incident like that. It's just a miracle.
Saved by CVTC. I mean, these people really truly did save me that day. So thankful for you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just very thankful that they were all here that day.